Let's take a look at the buttons that you may encounter in the Mac OS X interface. What I'm going to do in this section is to show you the buttons that are available to developers, and I'm using a tool that developers use called the Cocoa Simulator, which is accessible from the Interface Builder application, which is part of the Xcode tools. If you want to develop Mac OS X applications using the tools that Apple uses, you can use Xcode as your development environment. Xcode is powerful enough to, in fact, develop Mac OS X itself, as well as the major applications, as well as minor applications. And you get Mac OS X's development tool Xcode by inserting your Mac OS X installation CD or DVD and clicking on the option to install other products, because Xcode is delivered on the disk with every copy of Mac OS X. So you have this. You may not have it installed. You can install it if you want from the DVD, and then you can use Interface Builder to see what the tools are that are available. A button of any kind has an immediate effect on the interface. When you find a button on an interface, you can click it unless it is dimmed. If it's dimmed, it's not clickable. But if the button is in its normal state, then you can click it and something should immediately happen. It's very important with buttons. This is the standard button. You'll notice when I click on it, it's highlighted. We have a square button here, a round rect button. Notice how the corners are changed. Recessed buttons, a button with texture, and a rounded cornered rect textured button. So these are the normal buttons that you find in the interface. Over here you have rectangular buttons with little beveled edges. As I hold down the mouse, you'll see up here and at the bottom on both of these that I have a little bit of a bevel. It's a different type of look than the rounded buttons. These are used often for selecting choices, such as in the page setup dialog. This will let you choose whether it's a landscape or portrait display. And you also sometimes will encounter round buttons. The difference here is that you're not going to be able to put text in the button. This is something that will do something. All of these buttons have text in them that in one way or another explain what clicking on that button will do. This button, oddly enough, is a help button. It's a standard help button. Applications are encouraged to use this and to put it in the same place throughout their application. It's usually in a lower corner of a window, maybe in an upper corner. It's generally not in the middle of a window. This is a disclosure triangle, and this is a disclosure button. Notice as I click on them, they change. A disclosure triangle is next to something, such as a line of text, and when you click it here, you get more information about that. You'll see this in the list view, in the Finder, and we'll talk about that when we look at it. Here, this is next to something, and this may change, dropping down more information. You see this in the File Save dialog, where you can go from a simplified save dialog to a larger one. This enlarges the window. This provides usually more information about one line of text, and this enlarges the window. So these are buttons. They have immediate actions.